video is about PAX, it's also not about PAX. I'm going to talk to a lot of the artists out there and people who like to create things. Hopefully this video will be a confidence booster in the same way that PAX was a confidence booster for me. I'm also going to talk about a lot of the indie games, and that's all I'm going to talk about is like small, interesting indie games, from my perspective. I'm not going to talk about Stalker 2 or Baldur's Gate 3 or any of the big games that you already know about, because that's not what I want to do here. I want to shine some light on stuff that maybe you haven't heard of before. Before we get started with all that, this video is brought to you by my music. So if you like DOS, AdLib, maybe some OPL 2 and 3 stuff, MIDI, chiptunes, then feel free to go over and check out my music. The links are all in the description. I also do some symphonic stuff as well. So here's a little bit of a sample. Now, if you're a game developer and you don't have any music in your game, contact me. I have very reasonable rates. That's the little promo for my music. Now let's get into talking about PAX. And before I do that, I want to establish something. I've always wanted to work on creative projects, whether it's games or movies, whatever. I've done some of the stuff with indie films and everything. And this YouTube channel was kind of started to grow an audience of nerds. And I did that, but sometimes I sit back and wonder maybe I should have just focused completely on learning game development. And that's what I've been kind of doing over the last year or so, learning pixel art and game development. Because I've tried to do it in the past. My scope was way too big. So I've narrowed it down now. And I am working on a couple different things, on the side. I think one thing might show some promise. It's an adventure, a click adventure in the style of the old school games. I think I got enough new ideas in there that kind of changes the formula. Set during the Satanic Panic, and that's kind of the underlying theme, but it does get a little wild. I think a lot of you will like that. I'll put a link in the description so that you can go and sign up to get notifications whenever there's any developments on this. But I've kind of been doing that on the side, and going to PAX was a huge confidence booster for a couple different reasons. This year I did not have a press badge, and the reason I didn't have a press badge is because I missed the deadline. And that's because I was overworking myself doing things I absolutely hate, like product videos. I hate them. But I do them because it gets me a little bit of income, and that income I use to work with artists. And that's pretty much where my money's been going. I've found if I just do these things I hate, I can have enough money to pay an artist to help me with some of these projects. So some of the backgrounds and the stuff that I've been working on have been done by an amazing pixel artist. And all that, you'll all see that when we get this finished. I missed the deadline. I missed the deadline for PAX East as well because I was overworking myself. And then I come out and I'm like, oh no, the deadline's over. But this time I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go as a regular human being. And I got a ticket to PAX. And I was like, this feels a little different. So I got some of these things made up. There we go. So, and I did that little pixel art there. And I was like, you know what? I work doing things I hate all the time. And it's like a mental thing where I think I gotta be doing something I hate because that's what work is, right? And I'm like, I need to get that out of my head. So I started thinking, maybe there's some people there who need a composer, and it's always better to meet in person and see how well you get along. And there were some really cool people there who maybe need music. Give me a call. Then I could do that during the day and work on my game project at night. It would be a much, much, much better thing for my brain. So I got up there and I met Christian, who was smart and got a press pass so we could work together, make this video. He did some of the camera work and everything to make it official, but that also gave us access to the press areas, which was nice. So we kind of did get some of the benefits of having the press pass, and now I can make this video. The second half of this video, I'm going to go into specific different games and just give you some little previews. But as I was walking around the show, I started noticing something. A lot of the people there are in the same boat as all the other creators. You think the people at PAX are they got it all together, they're confident. And no, a lot of them, they have imposter syndrome. A lot of them have been struggling and working on this for years, and they're like, oh, I've been working on this game for many, many years, and finally we're at PAX. So a lot of the people there have gone through a lot and have the same sort of self-doubt and everything, but they're doing it. Now, there are some games there that are extremely polished and beautiful, and you've got these veteran game devs or veteran indie game devs who have made 5 or 6 games, but they're still there I hope people like this. And it's you can tell that game is going to do well. There's a gazillion indie games and people are always oh, there's so many, the market's flooded. Yes, the market's flooded, and there's a lot of stuff that's just my first game or just a simple mechanic, and I hate to be like this, but there's a lot of games that are my first game and I'm learning, and maybe by the game number 3 I'll be ready for this game to take off. And that hey, that indie game, that looks good. That's people that looks fun. It's fun to play. It feels responsive when I play it. Someone's going to like this game. And but the devs are like, I don't know. And then you walk around again and you see a game that is a prototype that looks like it was created in a weekend. It's awesome that people are working on these things, but it looks like something that came out of a weekend game jam, and it's here at PAX. Why is it at PAX? And you're like, talk to the developer, and they're like, I'm 19 years old. I'm 22 years old, and I've never made a game before, but this is my first game, and they're super excited. They're like, I can't wait. And it's like, how did you get to PAX, and why are you here? It's really cool that you're here, but I hope the fact that you're making this game, and a lot of times you look and you're like, that's probably never going to come out. It's awful, but like, I'm a little older, I've been around. You see stuff and you're like, that's probably not going to come out. And I just hope it doesn't crush them. I hope they keep going. But as someone else who's also got a lot of self-doubt when it comes to artwork, walking around there and seeing that I'd say maybe 30 or 40% of the games there were in far worse shape than the thing that I'm working on. And they're here at PAX and they're confident. And I'm thinking like, this thing I'm working on, it's just, I don't know. It gave me a lot of confidence in the sense that like, I realized we're all in the same boat. Artists are all filled with self-doubt and all filled with all these things. And the fact that they're just doing it regardless, that's amazing. That's the thing that I think you have to like get through your head if you're an artist is, yes, you may have self-doubt, but you just have to do it. Even if it's awful, even if it's terrible, you take it there and you take the hit. If it's amazing, great, you're good. But if you're showing it prematurely, you're probably not going to get much traction or much press out of that, but you'll get the experience of going. So I think some of them probably shouldn't have been there, but for other reasons, maybe it's good that they're there. Maybe they're learning. If they can afford it, it'll be a good learning experience. But yeah, hopefully this can be something that's like an encouragement to different artists out there. Just do your thing. People are not going to understand it. Your family might not understand it. They're going to look at you and be like, oh, you're doing that thing still when you're going to get a real job. Just ignore them. You don't need anybody else on your side, because once you make something that's amazing, they're all going to be like, yeah, we knew he could do it. We knew she could do it. It's ridiculous. That's what happens every time they take credit for your success. We encourage them. Did you? Mm-hmm. And it's especially weird, I feel, in my shoes, because I do this job that's not very artistic and everyone can see my job, but that's not me. Every now and then someone will spot me in public and they'll be like, I know you from your job. And it's like, you don't know me. But that's the self that I put out there that you can see on YouTube. So yeah, but people who see me on YouTube know the Logan and everything. You don't know Ward. I enjoy a lot of the interactions, and there's some really cool people that I've met through this that I never would have met otherwise, which is really cool. And at the same time, I'm always thinking like, but what would have happened if I would have just been serious about art and game dev and music? Where would I be at this point? And that keeps me up at night sometimes. So I'm going to try to think about that less and do more. Now let's take a look at some of the indie games there. I'm going to show you just some of the quirky and interesting indie games that Christian and I saw here at the show. So yeah, roll that footage. So we found this game called Inpulse, and it's a very, difficult looking platform game. Kind of reminds me of some of the others that started off the whole indie game craze, like Meat Boy and everything. But there's a very interesting twist. You are rocket jumping around, but you're a flute. And you're rocket jumping with, your waveforms from, is that what it is? Your waveforms basically from your flute?
Yeah, basically you ride the music. So the way the game works is you play as flute. You are music, you collect notes, and each type of note moves you different. So this world is just teaching you basically the basic controls, but you're going to collect different notes and shoot them out like a rocket jump. And there's a root note, there's a fifth, there's a third, and they all have different powers. Some teleport you, some launch you across the screen, some laser you in different directions, and basically the whole game becomes almost like a defrag map from Quake later on. And this is made by people from the Kaizo community. There's like a whole bunch of playtesters in the Kaizo world. Like I personally, I'm the lead dev, I'm from the Kaizo world, and this game is basically built to basically be like a gateway Kaizo. It's like a game that's like, if you're interested in watching those kind of like Twitch esport kind of things, but are afraid to try it for yourself, this is like a perfect game for you. This is a game that's like going to teach you how to do that stuff.
Yep, and I can see right here we have all the input.
Yeah.
All the inputs are recorded right over there.
Yeah, so over there the game comes with these pre-recorded ghosts, and you can see over on the side that's like a DDR screen. You can kind of learn the inputs from the playback, and you can record your own. And it's got built-in like task supports for speedrunners. You can record and you can record your own run, and it will auto-stitch it together.
Now I actually want to hear this because I'm a music person, So where can people go to hear the game in action?
Oh, so you can go to inpulsegame.com, INPULSE, so with an N, inpulsegame.com, or you can just go to our Steam page. So it's Inpulse on Steam. That's INPULSE. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Check it out. This is AO Containment Breach, and you're not going to believe this. So everyone, guess what engine this is? Did you guess Unity? No, it's not Unity. How about Godot? You probably guessed Godot first. It's not. It's not Unreal. It's not Game Maker. This is RPG Maker. They have created this in RPG Maker. Let's tell you the plot. So there's a whole bunch of monsters. There's something called the SCP Society has captured all these crazy monsters. There may be more to the plot. I don't know. I'm in PAX. I can't keep up with everything. And they're in this facility and they're starting to break out, and you've got to go in and clean them all up. It's kind of action. You're doing stuff, and the monsters can interrupt you. You can interrupt them. Well, so it's kind of real time, kind of turn based. I don't know, but it looks really interesting. Like, it caught my eye. All these Cronenberg looking monsters and stuff. Exterminating them sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to be checking this one out on Steam, and I still just cannot believe that this is RPG Maker. So cheers. Again, it's AO Containment Breach. This is Everdeep Aurora, and the art style immediately caught my eye. There's no combat in this. You're a little cat, and there's a meteor shower that's happening above ground, so that's made you all go underground, and there's all kinds of people trying to figure out how to live underground. And you're exploring, and you get a drill, and you can upgrade your drill, you can get double jumps. So there's a bit of a Metroidvania thing going on like that, but there's all kinds of different components, all kinds of interesting characters you can meet, and they all have their own motivations. There's some mysteries going on about like the meteor showers. You might start to uncover some of that. There may be, as you dig, lower and lower, you might start to uncover some ancient civilizations. So it's really an exploration game with some kind of Metroidvania mechanics and a drill that you can upgrade. And I had a lot of fun with just, the art style, talking to the characters, and just exploring. It's almost medicinal to kind of get in the zone and look around and just try to figure out what's going on in this world. You can't drill through all the walls, so that will make you kind of go through this like a maze and try to figure out where the best place is to drill. And then you got your little drill over here. You got to make sure that stays full. You can get it refilled or whatever and upgraded. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So check it out if you're interested. It'll be on Switch and I think some other things. I don't know, maybe PC. Yeah, Switch and Steam. There we go. Everdeep Aurora. I just played a very interesting puzzle platformer with a mechanic that I haven't exactly tried before. This is called Tethergeist because you have a tether that you use. It's like a soul tether that you use to flash through walls. And there's all kinds of different obstacles. So you're picking up these little spirit orbs right there. I'm not sure if they have an actual name for them or not, but you get the idea. And you're using those to get like a point so that you can flash through a wall. Use your tether ability. And of course there's all kinds of things you can land on. But the fun part of this is trying to figure out the combinations, just trying to figure out the puzzle that will help you get through each individual part of the level. So I had a lot of fun with it. It's a very beautiful game, like very, very beautiful game. And I can't believe how clean and simple everything looks. So yeah, I'm gonna be checking this one out when it's available. Techno Banter. That's literally what it is. You just sit here and decide if these characters can get into the club.
I'm hoping there's some kind of like, the guest tries to insult you. I'm hoping there's some kind of like repercussion. Like, once we get through the line, maybe they're gonna say, you missed out on this guy's a big, he's so important, and then you're gonna be like penalized by the management or something. Let's see, how inappropriate. You have the burning.
That's Christian, by the way, if you remember from back in the day.
You're gonna be really sensitive about the way he looks because he's wearing a suit,
So you used to come back on him?
Yeah.
So this is like Monkey Island 1, the insult fencing.
Okay, it's been a while.
This is like I played it again last year, so this is like the insult fencing, but in techno banter form.
I don't know why he got to go in, because he landed a hit on me. He basically intimidated his way into the club.
So this one, he beats you up, and he gets to go in. I don't think anyone's ever been to a club here.
Yeah, I must be a scrawny bouncer. Cultist.
The cult of what?
Our time is short. Stop here.
I know you all need a giantess dating sim. I know you need it. Alright, so is this me? Oh, I'm finally up. Ah, yes. Is this a JRPG? I was asleep. Great, it'll be fine. Stuff you can't afford. I found a Metroidvania. This is Abyssal Descent. It's in a very early form right now. They said there's like a very linear part of the game right now that they're showing off. So you are in sort of it looks like a sci-fi metallic area or whatever. And the thing that I really love about this, you've got your mouse. It was designed with the keyboard and mouse in mind. So you're using your mouse there to aim and you're moving around. It reminds me, remember the old game Abuse on DOS? Were you alive back then?
No, I was not, but
I'm very old.
I'm 20, so yes.
Oh, okay.
But the vibe we're kind of going for is that retro vibe kind of. We're kind of mechanically we're targeting like a very NES era, so thinking like OG Metroid, Super Metroid, Contra, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, those esque era of games, right? But we're taking much more modern influences like Animal Well, Hollow Knight, and like other things. Right?
I played way too much Hollow Knight.
It's such a good game. I love it too. But we're kind of trying to infuse all of those into like composite Metroidvania experience.
Yeah.
We want to give people a very complete experience of like all areas of the Metroidvania world, you know?
Right.
And kind of give our own spin on it.
It looks really cool. I mean, I like the style a lot.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I was walking by and almost broke my neck because I saw something that reminded me of something that made me look at something that was completely new but reminded me of old things. Oh yeah. Home Sweet Home, Rod and Pie TV. This is an indie horror movie and being animated by one person. So if you think this artwork's interesting, and if you're watching my channel you think it's interesting, or I will come to your house and put weasels in your underwear drawer. So check it out. It's the best marketing in the whole show. All right, so that's it. Just a little bit of PAX coverage. We were there for one day. That's the end of this video. Let me know what you think. Thanks to everybody who picked up a copy of the album. Again, all those links are in the description. And I'm going to put links to as many of these games that I covered. I've got cards and stuff. I'll get all that together. All that's going to be in the description. So, yeah, see you later.